Good afternoon from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Monday, December the 7th market update. The early part of this week is going to be pretty light on economic reports, but starting on Wednesday, we'll have the EIA petroleum status report, which can obviously impact the energy stocks. And then Thursday, we have jobless claims, the international trade, the EIA gas report, and treasury budget. And Friday, we're going to have the retail sales, import-export prices, consumer sentiment, and business inventories. The dollar was up again today, and gold, silver, copper, and oil were down. Light sweet crude futures were down today by $1.54 to settle at $73.93 a barrel. Let's go over and take a look at the point and figure chart on WTIC. And you can see here, I think I pointed this out, I think it was last Friday, we've got should have some pretty strong support right here in this area, and so far it's holding. We've got trend line support. We had this quad top breakout right here, so we should have some strong support. I don't see any reason why oil would continue lower. It may stay around and kind of channel around where we're at, but of course obviously I would think it would market would be much weaker if we break much lower than here. We should stay pretty close to this area, I believe. All right, let's go over and take a look at the Dow. The Dow closed up a whole point to 10,390. S&P closed down 2 points to 1,103, and the Nasdaq closed down 4 points to 2,189. The Dow was up by 0.01%, and the S&P was the weakest, down 0.25%. So, same old story. We're still on this channel, still hanging out. But being in this channeling the way we are, you would expect a huge, probably a pretty big move when we start moving through, this channel here to the upside or downside. I'm leaning towards upside at the moment. That it's probably going to be could be a pretty big rally day, or pretty big pullback if we break it. But I'm really not expecting that. It all looks good right now. Let's go look at the SPX. I probably got so many lines drawn you probably can't see it. So here we're in a channel as well. We've got all this resistance up here. This, we can't seem to close above this 1,110. And I've talked about before, we've got this weekly resistant line here coming right down here. We have a lot of resistance here, so I would think it's going to take some pretty good news for us to blow through there. Let's look at the 60-minute chart. So on the 60-minute chart, we look okay. We're just, like I said, we just keep hanging out, kind of go up, kind of go down. We're building up some kind of a coiling here. Looks like maybe a possible little triangle right there on this 60-minute chart we're looking at. Let's go over and want to look at the XLF, which I pointed out. 6 month. We're still in this kind of a symmetrical triangle on this XLF. Had a lot of volume Friday. Pretty light volume today. It's looking like it wants to break down, but it depends on the news, coming out each day. And even if it did, we've got some more support down here around the 14, but I would think the market would definitely be moving lower if we break down out of this. I think GS looks pretty similar. It's sideways here. Pretty weak again today, but volume is really light. So watch for this to break down further or break out to the upside. Let's go over and look at gold. 6-month chart ETF. I think you could possibly buy here again, which they did today. We went down to a low of 111, and obviously this candle, they started buying the dip in gold. You could start, if you're out, you could start dipping your toes back in. I wouldn't go out there and back up the truck on gold though, but it's looks like they want to buy it. See, 4 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. They were utilities and biotech, semis, and internet. Utilities followed the UTY. They were up the most. at 0.79%. The weakest sector was the gold index, weak again like Friday, which we follow the GOX. It was down over 2%. Look at the VIX, volatility index on the S&P. And it was actually up 4% today. Still, it still looks fine. It's kind of stuck here too. The whole market's kind of waiting to go. Ready to go up or ready to go down. Next move. Let's run through some charts really quick because I know I'm probably taking up a lot of time. I like this rock, ROCK. It had a quadruple top breakout on the point and figure chart. I can show you what that looks like. It definitely a low risk entry. Right there and even here. So that looks good. I like it. You could put a stop below this 1550 area or so. I'd probably put a stop below about 15. So it's a lowish entry. Should be good for maybe 4 points or so, but I like it. I like GFRE. This is a chemical company. Gulf Resources Chemicals have been holding up really well. It's channeling. It just keeps wanting. It's got this volume here. It's just dying to break out. It just needs the market to give it a little support and go higher, and there it's going to rip. I like Whirlpool. It's another one. It channeled, went higher. It's got resistance. It's 80. If it breaks out above 80, it's probably going to get bid up. WLL, it looks good as well. It's still sitting here. It's got this ascending triangle. It's just sitting here hanging out. Walmart looks good. It's also in this channel, so watch for this break above this 55 area. Joy Global has been really strong. It's also channeling, so keep your eye on that. It's also got support. It's not on here, but it's got support. The 50 moving day 50-day moving average, I'll get that out in a minute, is right underneath it here. So it's got support of the 50. So I think it's a low risk entry point on that. AUY pointed out, I don't know how long ago, before it broke out of this kind of inverted head and shoulders. It's still looking really strong. It's got resistance right here, a breakout above 11. It's probably going to fly higher. And then the RIT, Avalon Bay, it's another channel. It's still hanging out. So watch for that possible breakout higher. Northrop Grumman, it's got an ascending triangle hanging out here, ready to go higher. A lot of these are just dependent on the market. Just, the market has a good, good strong open. Just keep your eye on these because they might start ripping. Plum Creek Timber, which Kramer touted, I think last Friday, which, it's got major resistance right here at this 36 level. But if it takes it out, which it looks like it's trying to do soon, it's probably going to rip. So keep an eye on Plum Creek Timber, PCL, VMW, VMware. Another one looks good. Just broke out. Had an ascending triangle, broke out here. It's got resistance up here around this 45, about 45 or so. So watch that. And then some quick bearish ideas. We've got Weatherford, WFT in this channel down, just keeps on falling. Baker Hughes, not as weak, but it had a recent breakdown. And then watch Rig. It's got support right now, but if it falls much below where it is with a lot of volume to the downside, but it may have good support here. It could go either direction. Let's take a look at the current market signals. We follow the point and figure for the Dow, the Nasdaq, S&P. All three indices are on buy signals, and there were no changes today. So that's really it for today. Thanks for joining me, and remember to always invest sharp.